What's going on, everybody? It's your man Chuck Ruffin. How's it going, everyone? Thanks for tuning in. I know I'm kind of off the normal scheduled times that I usually do for going live on this page, but I had to make up for the things for yesterday, so I asked Alyssa if it would be a good idea to jump on today. So here I am. Alright, I'm trying to get some things figured out. My computer's going a little bit haywire, so hopefully the stream will be coming through soon. Anyway, just got a few things I wanted to catch up on. It's been a couple of days since you guys saw me last. I was on last Wednesday, but since last Wednesday a lot has happened, and I just wanted to make sure that I caught up with some of the questions that were posted last week, plus also, kind of touch base with everyone and let you know what kinds of things I have been doing since then. Not sure if everybody's able to see the live feed or not, because mine is currently frozen, so if you guys are having difficulties, I apologize. I believe I'm in an alright place, so let me... Oh, I can hear myself. So welcome to the live show of What's Up, Chuck? On Chuck Ruffin. And this is, well, Tune In Tuesday from Music and the Mission Mondays. Alright, so first off, I wanted to start by saying take a look at my new logo I added on my live streams. I have to represent the wife and put her logo up on my chat because I'm one of her biggest fans, so obviously I want to make sure that I show my support by putting her brand on my videos, and that way anybody that watches me gets to see her logo and can go out and support her. So if you haven't done so, go check out AlyssaRuffinMusic.com. Her website is consistently updated. Her Facebook page, Alyssa Ruffin Music, also has a lot of new content on there as well. We're happy to announce that we did put the deposit down for her next song to get recorded, so it will be a matter of time before she actually goes out and records again with the infamous Scott Wilson of Saving Abel at Sunshine Studios in Colorado Springs. So be on the lookout for a future date where she will be visiting and taking some time out there to record her next song. With that also being said, we are looking for sponsorship options. She wants to kind of improve her brand, so I know I have a ton of musician friends out there that may have some additional ideas for sponsors. And please, by all means, if we're all in the business of sharing and helping each other out, so if you know of something that would be good for us, please share that with us, because we're definitely hitting the ground running and trying to make sure that we reach out to a lot of different places and get her some endorsements and sponsorships. Alright, so what's going on? First thing I wanted to bring up is kind of not really a new objective that Alyssa and I have taken on, but I'm sure you guys have seen some of the posts regarding the missing veteran. And since we've been sharing the posts and such, I'll just go ahead and throw the page up here. His name is Jesse Conger. He's a Marine Corps veteran. He has been missing since the middle of August. His sister, Patricia Conger, has been doing everything on her own. Basically trying to organize search parties and trying to get people involved. So there's the Facebook link down there at the bottom for their Facebook group, Find Jesse Missing Veteran. That page has all of the updated stuff that they are currently doing to try and help find Jesse. So the story behind him is that he's actually from Utah, but his girlfriend lives down in Scottsdale, Arizona. And so he was down there visiting. He left one day with no cell phone, none of his own personal belongings, like his wallet, his ID card, everything. He just left it. The only thing he took with him was a 9mm, and he drove off. So since then, the APB was put out with his information, the vehicle description. There's plenty of contacts. Patricia's cell phone number is on there. Alyssa reached out to some friends and got the contact information for Luke Air Force Base, as well as the Yuma NCIS. I got in touch with them today, and so far, basically everything is kind of put in place to continue the search for Jesse. There is a $30,000 reward that's being offered by a Twitter philanthropist. He is supporting the search, and he already did a few air searches and paid for those, as well as a few other things that he was doing. So there's definitely a lot of logistics in place supporting the search for him. It's just a matter of getting volunteers to help support the search efforts whenever they set them up. So Patricia and a lady named Wendy, as well as Patricia's boyfriend, and myself and Alyssa are all in a group chat, and we've been kind of just trying to help facilitate conversation, ideas, organizing the things, and looking for additional options to try and continue the search. So we're doing everything we can from California, but there's only so much we can do. We can't physically be there, and unfortunately we have other obligations that need our attention. So we're just there to support her, right? And we want to try and find her brother. They're apparently twins, so that's even more devastating, that they're twins, and she's still having a hard time trying to find him and locate him. So he could be anywhere between Scottsdale and Las Vegas. Las Vegas is where his children live. They said that he probably wouldn't go that direction, but people have looked in that direction. Nobody has found him in Las Vegas. He's originally from northern Utah. I don't know if they've done searches up there. From our understanding, Alyssa and I both think that they haven't done one yet, which I'm not sure. I do know that they went and looked out some cabins that her brother had out in some areas where he's been to in the past, and he's not there. But ultimately, if you can show any support, just go like the page, kind of keep up with what's going on. If you know anybody in the Scottsdale, Arizona area, please, by all means, put those people in touch with them. If you have other resources that you can think of that maybe we haven't thought of yet, by all means share that with them, because it's just really the strongest part of trying to, actually the most successful part is the people that's going to help it. There's a detective that has the information. He's doing everything he can. He's got the license plate readers, they're called LPRs, on the interstates, tracking for his license plate to his vehicle, things like that. So everything's kind of set in place. It's just a matter of time before we can actually find him. All right. So there's that, and I just wanted to, give my condolences to Patricia as well. This is probably one of the most difficult times that she has to go through, and it's not just like a short period. It's like everyday thing. She has to go to bed not knowing and waking up not knowing, and that's got to be a stressor on its own. She's already shared with us a few times that she's getting overwhelmed, right? She's getting stressed out, and it's really hard for her to continue forward. And I can only imagine what she's going through. I wouldn't want to go through this myself, but anything we can do to help, even if it's just be a person to talk to, that's better than not having anyone. And the biggest factor is here, with my support to Mission 22. He is a veteran. He's a combat vet. He's a Marine Corps veteran. He's gone 3 tours. He is a search and rescue Marine, and he's had suicidal thoughts in the past. So obviously, with me being passionate with Mission 22, this is kind of hitting home to me. Like, this could be another veteran that is out there thinking about taking his own life because of the struggles that he's dealing with, because he doesn't have his kids every day, but his kids mean the world to him. Who knows what kind of other stressors he's dealing with. His girlfriend lives in Scottsdale, and he lives in northern Utah, so that's a stressor enough just to be able to afford trips to and from. He seems like a pretty outdoorsy guy, so he's got those ways of being able to decompress I just don't think that it may be enough for what he deals with mentally. But hopefully we can find him and he's just, in a place with no money, but he's surviving. That's the hopeful part, right? But yeah, gotta hope for the best, but prepare for the worst. Something I said to the group earlier today. All right, so let's see. What else did I want to talk about on that part? He drives a silver Toyota Camry. He was last seen August 14th, 2019 in Scottsdale. So please, by all means, go to that Facebook page, check out that web group, and see if you can, provide any assistance. All right. So for more Mission 22 stuff, this last Saturday, I posted some pictures. I was able to bring Mission 22 out to Vandenberg Air Force Base. So that was the first time that Mission 22 has been in Central California. It was very well received. The base loved the fact that we were there. It was a perfect environment. It was the exotic car show. It was also a Jeep Flex Off as well as Oktoberfest. Those three events were kind of combined in one. It went over great. They had a ton of booths out there, vendor booths. They had this really cool like a gift card deal where they had the people that were interested in winning prizes, they had a lot of really cool prizes. I was kind of jealous, but you had to go by the booth and get signatures. So when you came to each booth, it gave you an opportunity to interact with them. It's not just people walking by, right? So all those people that came by the Mission 22 booth, when they got the signature, they would look around at all the stuff. They saw my handouts. They saw some of the swag I had, some carabiners, some pens, some stickers and things. Those are all free. People love free stuff, So it was really cool to see that the interest spark up whenever they do show up. And, I got a chance to tell them about what Mission 22 is all about. Oh, look at that. I just noticed that this light was right here that I can turn on. I was like, what is this thing? Alyssa must have put that there. She charged it for me. So yeah, it was really great because I got a chance to speak to a bunch of different people, veterans even. I was actually speaking to an EOD tech, which I think I might have hit home with him a little bit because, I was telling him about, the national average and telling him about this organization and talking about the resources it provides. And, I could tell that he was kind of reflecting on some memories that, maybe he was recalling some friends of his that, are dealing with some issues, or maybe he is himself. But, he stuck around and was kind of sharing some stuff with me, got a little personal there for a minute. And, that's really what this is all about. Like, hey, this is an option, right? It's, even if you don't know anybody personally and you're the one struggling, look into Mission 22 and see if they can help you. And, I didn't want to be the guy that says, here, I will do this for you. I do and I don't. But with his perspective, I can tell that he was really taking it to heart. And I got his contact information. I told him I would reach out to him, and I will. I've got his email and stuff right here. And, I'll get in touch with him and see what he wants to do in the future. So that's what I was really proud of, is those small moments of sharing information to the people and getting them invested in the information and, having them realize that the military population deals with this every single day. It's not just an hourly thing. It's not just a one-time deal. It's every single day that there's a veteran out there who is in a suicidal thought and seriously considering taking their own life. So it's one of those, it's not an easy conversation to have. It's not an environment that people feel comfortable in and to talk about. But there are people like me who are doing everything that we can to learn how to speak in those environments and be able to share this information with people and get other people involved and have them learn ways of communicating. Because I think that is maybe a perspective I didn't have at first, is how do I talk to someone that might be in that environment or that mental state. So I think it's a really good avenue for us, and it went over really well. I said, it went from 11 to 3. I got there at 10 o'clock to set up. They had a tent for me. I set up my table. I posted some pictures on a couple of pages. The Exotic Car Club was really cool. Those guys came up and they were learning all about it. I got to talk to some folks that knew other veterans. They shared some stories with me. It was really great. It was a really great day. And my friend from work, Mark Dizon, and his wife stopped by, and they brought some chocolates out, and they sat with me for a little while. Alyssa came out with the girls a little while afterwards, and she was helping me kind of straighten up the table, and we took some pictures together with her behind the table and me behind the table and us together. So it was a really great day just to kind of see how the people around me were being really supportive, as well as the people that had just learned about it. So it's a super cool time, and I hope that I can do this next event. It's the Pismo Beach Jeep Fest. My schedule's a little wonky right now with training and my shift time. It varies every week, so I'm hoping that I can still go. I have it scheduled. I haven't figured out a way to negotiate the time off to go do it yet, but we'll see. Alright, so those are some of the big topics that I wanted to bring up. I put this backdrop up today because it's important to me to continue raising awareness for Mission 22. If anybody ever wants to learn about how they can become an ambassador with Mission 22 for themselves, really the amount of commitment is starting to change. So anybody that signs up an ambassador is not just signing up and saying, I vouch that I will support this. Now they're actually wanting ambassadors to do an event at least once a quarter, which isn't a bad thing, because the state leaders go out of their way to set these events up, to help bring awareness about this organization, or to help fundraise, just to get community involvement. There's veterans out there that need help, and this is a way of doing that for people. So when they go out of their way to create these events, it's a lot of logistics. It's getting in touch with the event coordinator. It's emailing back and forth every single day, ensuring that you have the proper times, you have a setup time, you have all of the materials that you need for the event. You need a table, you need chairs, you need people to be there for you during the time. There's several things going on that take place that requires a lot of energy. And so when your ambassadors don't show up to help you out with the event, then it makes things a little bit more challenging. So what's up, Jack Kiesling? How you doing, good sir? Thanks for joining, man. Hope you're doing okay. My daughter's climbing up here, so hopefully I don't knock over my backdrop. Anyway, so it requires a lot of assistance. So having the ambassadors being there, it just gives us another leg up on being able to support the whole entire event. Thank you, Jack. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate you stopping in and saying what's up. I totally understand it's during the week, so I figured during this now is the only time I really have this week. So I wanted to get up on here and at least record something to make up for the time lost yesterday. My daughter ended up going to urgent care from an injury she got last week, and we found out that she has a dislocated rib. So now we have to take care of her that way, however we can. There's not much you can really do for a dislocated rib besides a lot of rest and just taking care of them, make sure they don't exert themselves. So yeah, that sucks really bad. Anyway, but yeah, so they're requiring their ambassadors, whoever does sign up, to at least do one event a quarter. So that means, whatever state leader is in charge of setting up the events, go out and just be there for one event. You don't have to stay the whole time ever. Being there to help set up is important. Being there for 30 minutes to an hour just to help talk to people, that's important. Even if you come right at the end and you help the state leader tear down, that's also important. That's extra people that we have in our bucket of hands to get things done for us. So Chris Gulick is on. What's up? So yes, if you are interested in signing up as an ambassador, just go to mission22.com. There is a link on the top right that says become an ambassador or help sponsor. and that email will basically get you into mission control. Let's not put that in your mouth, okay?
I did it.
Yeah, yes, you did. I see you on camera. I see you right there. I've messed you all up. I'm sorry, Chris. I know I'm doing one in the middle afternoon on a Tuesday. I'm off on my Monday, but I know you just joined, but I was in the urgent care with my daughter yesterday. She got a dislocated rib, and now she's at school today, which she's a trooper, but we needed to make sure that she got the care that she needed. She got an injury from school last week, and she kept saying that it was hurting, so we needed to get an x-ray done, and today was the first day that we could get, or yesterday was the first day we can get in to get an x-ray. Anyway, so I have not answered all of the questions that were posted on my page from last week, so I am going to do that. I'm going to answer some of the questions. I did post answers to the first 5 questions that Chris did, and I also did Alyssa's questions already, so those are out there, and I have not answered Brittany's, but I'm going to answer a couple of questions and then I'm going to call it a day. So that way I don't get on here too long. People are still on their lunch breaks and probably in a rush, so I don't want to burn up too much time. But I did want to come on here and at least talk to the Jesse Conger Missing Veteran, our Mission 22 efforts, and Alyssa Ruffin's efforts to find sponsorship for her music recordings. Anyway, so there's a couple of questions. I'll just ask. One of the ones that kind of stood out to me from Chris Gulick, actually I didn't get a chance to answer last week, was why do most military personnel wear camouflage when doing their regular day jobs when working at home at a U.S. base? And he said he's always wondered that, and it's a stupid civilian question, which no question is ever stupid from civilians. Don't ever feel that way. Ask away anytime you want. So the answer is, so when you are on active duty, your uniform is basically your job uniform, right? So regardless if you're stateside or not, being in the Department of Defense, it is mandatory for us, according to the UCMJ, as well as for the Air Force. It's the AFI 362903. It tells us what uniforms are allowed for what parts of the duty day. Our normal duty day is 7:30 to 4:30. However, each job is different depending on if you're security forces or if you're services, or if you're like me with the space operations officer. I work crew. Ultimately, my duty uniform is the camouflage one. It's called the Airman Battle Uniform, ABUs, which is actually transitioning to what the Army is wearing. They are doing that multi-cam stuff, so we're transitioning to that uniform. So you'll see me with the new uniform eventually. So it doesn't matter if you're stateside. Obviously we get to change out our uniform when we get home, when we're off duty. But ultimately, when we're on duty, we are currently in an active status. We are performing our active military status job, so it is required for us to wear our uniform during the daytime. There are places and certain branches of service that do not allow you to wear your uniform outside of military bases. For instance, the Marine Corps. They are not allowed to go to the grocery stores or to open public areas while wearing their fatigues. The Air Force is kind of the same way. We're technically not allowed to go, say, shop at Walmart in uniform. We're only supposed to go in for quick short visits, such as picking up maybe a prescription, or picking up a drink, or just stopping in and then leaving. We're not supposed to be walking around the store for a couple of hours doing our full-on grocery shopping. Ultimately, that's a force protection consideration. We don't want the military presence to offend anyone in the public, because the public does reach out to their local governments and they provide that feedback to the military bases, and those military leadership does get the feedback from the local government, and they ultimately let people know, hey, your military members have been kind of making the population feel uncomfortable. What can we do about exercising the public safety, right? So that's always a consideration. So hopefully that answered your question. It's not that we wear it because we want to. It's legitimately because we have to. We're active duty military. That is our job. Our job is to wear the uniform, and so it's required for us to wear the uniform when performing duties during the daytime. There are certain services within each branch of service that you don't have to wear fatigues. You only wear, for instance, like actual services members. They have polo shirts, or the guys that work at the gym, they'll wear like tan khakis and a polo shirt, and they'll have a name tag with their rank on it. Only the Air Force, though. Aspen Rain, no. Anyway, so that's the answer to that question. Hopefully that answers the question. Yes, Chris, absolutely. There are people that do get offended that there is a military presence. In fact, I could share a story where a friend of mine and I were at a restaurant in an unknown city, undisclosed city, but we were standing in line to get our food, and some lady decided to step up to us and share her opinion about what she thinks about the military and the presence of that military being there. And it was not very comfortable. At first I thought she was going to be like, thank you for your service, I really appreciate everything you do. But it went completely south. It went to the point of, I don't think you guys belong here. It's disrespectful for the population that they have to see military members walking around in their local areas. What you guys do is a disgrace to the nation, being involved in wars that we have no reason being there for. And ultimately, the military is corrupt just as much as the regular government is. And so I was like, holy smokes, like I was not expecting any of that to come from this lady. She was well in her years of life, and so it kind of took me off guard. It took my friend off guard, and the only response that I had was like, ma'am, I'm sorry that you feel that way about us. We mean no offense. Our sole purpose in life is to defend the nation, which also includes our civilian population. So, we're here for you regardless of your beliefs. And I hope that you don't take our, realm of respect. And I've definitely been in environments where there's anti-war people too, that they come up and yell at you expletives, there's tons of it out there. It's just, I think most military members, they don't really dwell on it, focus on it. We usually vent to our fellow military members. So it's kind of one of those deals where, I get it. Not everybody thinks that we're awesome, but it's really sad that they have those viewpoints, and I'm not going to do anything to try and convince them otherwise, because it's literally trying to fight a fight that I know I can't win, because they have their beliefs, they're stuck in their ways, they learned what they learned, and I can't change that, and I'm not going to. But I just hope that in the future they will understand why I'm here. She wants me to put on fairy wings. I don't know what I can do here. I don't know how to put these on, sweetheart. Okay. There. Done. All right. So I wanted to at least answer one question there. I'll answer one last question. How often do you just take a minute to say, man, my life is awesome, I've done pretty good? Well, that's a really cool question. I appreciate that your perspective led you to asking that question. And you know what? I have taken moments in the past where I have said, man, my life is pretty great. Where I'm at now, I would never have expected. to be at. I don't say that I do it often enough. There are still times where I struggle to even take Alyssa and I just like away from the everyday life of stuff, and just have a moment to ourselves, because if it's not the kids, then it's my career. If it's not my career, then it's Alyssa's career. So the in-between stuff that we get involved with is filling up our day a lot, and ultimately we have to prioritize, right, what's important to us. Like right now, I do spend a lot of my time with school. I spend a lot of my time with training, and I spend a lot of my time trying to help Alyssa, get the word out for her initiative to continue pursuing her recording. So, but I still do take a minute and look back for like, I have so much stuff. I have my 3 beautiful daughters. I have a beautiful wife who is incredibly talented and supportive. I have a really awesome job. I am in my mid-30s. I'm financially stable. Yeah, we struggle from time to time, but we're able to make ends meet for the most part. There are those life challenges where unexpected things come up, but we always have a plan. So it's kind of one of those things where it's just ever so adapting and evolving. But yeah, I do it quite a bit, and I do have an incredible amount of friends. Alyssa is probably the biggest reason why I have most of the friends I do have in Colorado, because if it wasn't for her getting out with her music, I would not have met most of those people, which also means that if I would not have met Kelly Pippin or seen Kelly Pippin's live show, I would not have met you, Chris. And through Kelly Pippin, I met you and saw what you're doing with the 22 push-ups and supporting veterans, and then I realized that you're a civilian doing this, so it even impressed me more. So I had to make sure that I connected with you. What's up, Mr. Colonel Rich Loma? He was my commander when I was deployed to Afghanistan. If you are still on here, I hope you are doing well. Thank you for tuning in and watching. Yeah, so I have a lot of really cool friends now. I have some friends that are closer than others. One of my best friends, like I said, is a Marine. He lives on the East Coast. He calls me pretty much every other day, and I love it. I can't appreciate it more. She decided to dress up as a fairy, so it's really fun. So I have a handful of like really close friends, and then I have a lot of acquaintances, and I do have friends that I will put the extra effort in to see, and those are the ones that support me and Alyssa, and I'll continue to support them the same way. So thank you, sir. I appreciate it. He commented. What's up? I appreciate it. I thank you very much for that. I'm glad that you still see the things that I'm doing. Being an officer has certainly changed the way I interact with people, and it's great to be on this side and see how officers operate and interact with the enlisted, and I couldn't be more thankful for what I have now than anything I've ever had before. So it's pretty great. I didn't know I was going to have a co-host today, so everybody meet Aspen Ruffin. She likes to play. I have a statue of an award right there, and a couple of the wings pieces broke, so that's what she's playing with.
You mean a bird?
Yeah, it's a bird. Anyhow, so I think I'm going to wrap it up.
Here.
I
right here.
didn't want to go on here for too long. As always, I usually jump on, tell them what you're going to tell them, and then tell them what you told them. So first off, I mentioned Alyssa Ruffin will be heading back to Colorado in the near future to record her second song. We are currently searching for sponsors to help fund her newest album. And with that being said, there will more than likely be an Indiegogo fundraising website submitted to her page, so be on the lookout for that. There will be a plethora of perks available for anyone that is interested in submitting donations. Those perks are really fantastic. We're still putting all those packages together. But we are reaching out to several companies as well for sponsorships, so look out for those endorsements and things coming soon. So Alyssa Ruffin's doing really well. Again, go check out her webpage. That's her logo, so you'll see it on her website, AlyssaRuffinMusic.com, or her Facebook page, Alyssa Ruffin Music on Facebook. Go like that page, go share it, go check out what she's been up to lately. The second thing was our veteran that we're looking for. Find Jesse Conger. He's in Scottsdale, Arizona. Again, I'll throw up the flyer one more time. That's one of the most recent flyers in the APB that's currently put out. If you go to that Facebook group that's there at the bottom, you can check to see what new posts they have regarding his whereabouts and the kind of status that they're in. I'm not gone, sweetheart. I'm still on the screen. But go ahead and check out that website. Patricia needs all the help she can get by spreading the news about trying to search for her brother. You know, if you can, at least just share the post once or twice. That's better than nothing. We really appreciate it. I know she will too. Trying to get as many friends of mine involved, at least just sharing the post to help with the search. And then lastly, Mission 22, if you ever need information or if you know anyone that needs assistance, reach out to me, reach out to Chris Gulick, reach out to our good friends Jeremy Gordon at Vet Catch, reach out to Kelly Pippin, reach out to Ryan Hemheiser from Disgruntled Vets, reach out to the plethora of resources that we have all come together to do, and that is to combat veteran suicide. We want to provide resources. We want to talk to you. We want to learn about you. We want to help you. And I know I'm saying this from this position, but I mean it. I absolutely do mean it. I've had 5 friends of mine take their life to veteran suicide. And it's a terrible, terrible thing to have to go through those. I deal with my own internal stressors and struggles, and I know that I vent in certain ways, and I know I've had episodes that Alyssa has been around for and has seen personally, and everyone deals with things differently, but we don't want you to be in a position where you think taking your life is the answer, because there are plenty of people out there that love you, that support you, that want to be there for you, and that want you to live a long, enduring, successful, fulfilling life to the point to where you see your friends, your family grow old, your children grow up, and you're a part of the special moments that they will have in their future, just as you did when you got to the age that you're currently at. So please don't forget that. And if that is a message that is willing to be shared, please do so. Spread the news. Tell them about mission22.com. Go on there. If you want to be an ambassador, you can reach out to me, or you can go to the website directly and sign up. It is a national organization. It is something that anyone can do and everyone can be a part of. I appreciate your time. I hope you guys enjoyed a couple of the questions that I answered. Thank you for allowing me to jump on early. I know I threw off the system yesterday. Like I said, my daughter ended up in urgent care, so I couldn't get on right away. We had to take care of some families first, in my opinion. So definitely wanting to make sure that I get on here on the times that I said I would. I will try to go on again tomorrow. It is Wednesday, but I got a briefing to do first thing tomorrow morning, and several other things that I have lined up with Alyssa for tomorrow, and some personal stuff. So if I don't go on tomorrow, I might do it Thursday, but we'll see. I got to do my What's Up Wednesday as much as possible. Don't be mad at me, Chris. And Chris, I appreciate it. If you do support it, thank you very much. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. I love you too. It's been a long time. I know that we haven't seen each other since Afghanistan, really, but I think about you guys all the time. I think about those times. I reflect on those moments. I appreciate you saying that you are proud of me. That is really awesome to hear and to see you say it. That means a lot coming from you, especially considering I was a very young airman when you knew me, and watching me grow up and my family grow, I'm sure from a distance is always a pleasure. I don't know what that perspective is like, I guess. So, thank you again. I appreciate you tuning in. keep sharing those good news stories. I know people like to see them. I like watching them.
Bye.
And she's saying bye. Say bye. You ready to say bye?
Bye.
All right. Bye, everybody. This is Chuck Ruffin on What's Up, Chuck. Thank you for tuning in. Hope to see you next time. Peace.
Got paper, scissors, shoot.